What is up? It is me. It is I. I am the greatest there is, the greatest there was, and the greatest there ever will be. I am greatness personified. Ooh, yeah. Myself. Yes, yes, Stoney. Greatness. Oh, thank y'all. Y'all are too much.
We love you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Sit down.
We love you.
Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. All right. Books for everybody. And I'm here with the man of the hour, the myth, the legend, the activist, the author, the philanthropist, the educator, the entertainer, the empowerer, the conqueror, the deacon of domination. Deacon. So some respect, bend the knee, because they come from all across the world to see the man who wears the crown that hangs 2 inches from the ground. He is your king. He is my king. He is King Kevyn.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, all right.
Let's
Thank
get
you.
into it. What's up, everybody? Thank you guys for joining us for another episode of the GreatMines show, where we are reviewing RuPaul's Drag Race All Stars 10 Tournament of All Stars, Bracket 3, episode. God damn, it's just so
Episode
much.
9.
Episode 9, a whole new group of queens, 6 queens. And we're going to get into it. Before we do, make sure you join our conversation, hit the like button, subscribe, follow, share our videos with other people that you know love drag as much as we love drag. Also, deacon. Now, I've been a lot of things in church. I've never been a deacon. That's a good one there.
Of domination.
Yeah, he had to finish it.
Yeah.
Of domination.
Yeah.
No, but we are on episode 9. Jeez. Like, we are getting through. Wait, is it really?
Yeah. 1, 2.
No, it's episode
3.
7.
Oh, yeah. 7. It's 7.
Yes, we just went through 3 episodes
7. 3
of
episodes.
2 different brackets. That means 6 episodes
Yeah.
there. We're on episode 7.
7. All right. I blame Pit Stop because
Yes, we're on episode 7.
9. I guess it's the 9th episode of Pit Stop, but I don't know.
Right. So we are here with a whole new bracket of queens that we were excited to see now. We have seen bracket number 1 with Aja Bosco, Deja Sky, Irene the Alien, Olivia Lux,
yes.
and Phoenix. Then we had bracket number 2 with Georges Carrie Colby, Lydia Butthole Collins, Mistress Isabel Brooks, Nicole Page Brooks, and Tina Burner.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sorry, y'all, because these girls with these 3 names is tripping me up.
It's a lot, yes.
But now here we are, and bracket number 3, and I want to call out these girls in the order of their entrance.
Yes. So we'll start off.
We're starting with Acid Betty.
No.
I'm sorry, Denali.
Yes.
We're starting off with Denali. Let me have my notes in front of me. Who came out in like this all white. She had like the boa sleeve.
Very
on.
Snow Bunny.
Mm-hmm. The white ponytail.
Mm-hmm.
I loved around the eye. She had like this. It looked like something that you would normally have as a tattoo around your arm or your wrist or something. But she had it like designed on her eye. It was giving me like Bosco chopped and screwed eyebrows. But I don't know if you noticed, the earrings kind of like matched the eye makeup, which was actually really cool.
Yeah, and she had these shoes that were like 3D printed or like designed to look like ice skates, but they were boots and stuff. So It was very on brand for Denali, and
Yes.
and she looked absolutely delicious. So yeah, I was glad to see her and everything, and hopefully she can come back and make something happen.
Denali's one of your favorites, right?
Denali is one of my favorite drag queens. Yes, she is one of my, because she is just so beautiful and just so awesome. Like, she can perform. So she is definitely a good time, and she's a good time to look at. So
okay, can I have an unpopular opinion?
Sure,
please?
go ahead. You're good for her.
So she was in season 13.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of the seasons. That was a ghost season for me. I didn't really follow that season the way that I have most of the other seasons. This was the season that Simone won, and Denali was a contender.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lip sync that she did when she had the green mohawk thing. When I tell you, sister can move, sister can move.
Yes, it was. What was that song? 100% pure love from the back to the middle and around again.
Yes,
I'm
yes.
gonna be there
Yes,
till
yes,
the
yes,
end.
yes.
100%. Yeah, like she did. Like,
And
it
that
was
was- that
her
was a
and
dope
Kimura
song.
Hall, and yeah,
Kimura could not move in that dress.
right.
That
But
lizard
she did a very,
dinosaur.
very good park and bark for this particular song, and because that's all she could do. But Denali just turned it out.
Anyway,
Mhm.
so here's the unpopular opinion.
Mm.
I know Denali can dance.
Mhm.
I know that Denali is beautiful. I don't think that she's my cup of tea.
Mm.
The way that
I'm
she
sorry for
moves feels very masculine in a dress to me. Very masculine. And then in her confessional,
You
she
just described
Yeah, you
Tina
talk-
Burner, but you
wait,
know,
no,
you
wait,
see Tina
wait.
Burner.
No. I think her dancing is masculine in the dress.
Yeah.
We know that Alyssa Hunter, who's also in this bracket, calls herself the trade of season 14. And every time I see Denali with her shoulders and her chest out, all I think is because she's gorgeous as a man and a woman. So I see trade when I see Denali.
Well, I guess in some ways that is a compliment rather than an unpopular opinion, because
Okay.
I'm pretty sure Denali would be like, "Oh, I'm trade to you, thank you, Daddy." Like,
Okay. And I'm not saying mask trade, but like if I had, because Alyssa isn't mask trade either.
No.
But I think that like when I look at Denali, I look at him like, damn, versus her like, ooh.
And see, the thing about it is, like, in drag, I just think Denali is just drop dead gorgeous. Like, I do. I think that she is just beautiful. Like, oh,
and I won't take that away from her. Like, there's sometimes I have my unpopular opinions and I go in on the girls. I don't have that for Denali. I just don't. I'm not seeing it the way others do. That's all.
And I mean, I guess you could say, because when there are certain drag queens that when I look at them and stuff, the illusion is very strong to me. To the point where it's like, oh my gosh, if that was a real woman, I would shoot my shot.
I have a question though, because like drag is supposed to be an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
An illusion is something that tricks your eyes.
And the thing about it is that if you get me to buy in like that, you are good.
But my question is, do you have to subscribe to a certain amount of delusion to accept their illusion?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. I think I do sometimes. I think I sometimes convince myself to like or dislike something about a performance or a look or whatever like that, if I'm being honest.
And everybody has their things and their quirks and stuff like that. Like, there are certain drag queens that I like that you're like, I don't understand, and there are certain drag queens that you like where I'm like, I don't understand. Like, and so
who like realistically, yes, give me one. Because I have a couple of favorites, but like, give me one that you think that I like that you don't understand.
Oh gosh.
Right. It's not easy.
It isn't easy.
Because
I mean, the closest I would say is Candy Muse. Because
and I knew you were going to say Candy Muse.
Yeah.
I don't like Candy Muse's drag though. I like Candy Muse as a person. I don't like Candy Muse's drag.
Okay.
So try again.
I don't know.
Right.
Tammy Brown. Like that.
So I just watched Tammy Brown on Monet Talks.
Uh,
I have never, nor will I ever, like Tammy Brown's drag.
Tammy Brown. The thing, no, I don't like her drag, but I love Tammy Brown is a car wreck that I love to watch all the time. Like
that was a very entertaining conversation.
Like she was a car crash.
That she is one of those people who have multiple personalities in her head, and at any given second, a different one will just say some Tourette's crap.
Yeah, it would not surprise me if Tammy Brown is a Gemini at all.
It would not surprise me either. I kind of welcome
Aquarius.
it.
It's definitely like given either Gemini or Aquarius because yeah.
So next coming onto the stage is Acid Betty.
Yeah.
Now Acid Betty, in my notes, because I wrote out what their interest looks are, and in Acid's notes, I said her looks was very Acid Betty.
Yes, absolutely.
There's no other way to describe because her looks are so unique,
are
custom,
so like
to who she is,
bold and just out there, and but it's out there and it works, and you're like, wow, just at the ingenuity
from
and the craftsmanship,
to the headpieces, to the makeup, to the body plate she had on underneath, to like Acid Betty is like, okay, last bracket I said Nicole Paige Brooks was in a competition or game by herself. I also think the same is true for Acid Betty, but just in a good way. I don't think that you could honestly compete when it comes down to looks with Acid Betty because she's not your average queen. She will give you alien Fish Lagoon, but glamour at the same time. So avant-garde, so out of this world.
Yes,
Acid Betty,
very rock, but alien, but demon. It's a whole hodgepodge of
all of the alien queens or demon queens. I think they aspire to be Acid Betty, in my opinion. Acid Betty is one of a kind. I'm not calling it for her in this competition yet, but just the queen that she is, I'm in love. She's not a Denali when it comes down to looks. She's nowhere near Carrie Colby. Not even an Olivia Lux. However,
not a Georges either.
Not a Georges, no. I mean, we're definitely not a Bosco. Can't give her a Bosco at all. Give her a Bosco. But she's so unique and talented that her look it's just like jaw-dropping stunning.
Yeah, and So Diabetes, looks Acid Betty looks absolutely amazing. So moving on, we had
Alyssa Hunter,
the trade of season 14. You want to spell it with me? TRADE trade.
that was a very accurate reenactment of what happened on her confessional when she walked into the onto the main stage. Alyssa had on, her hair was like mostly white with like black highlights. It was the little, I don't know how you describe the things that they do when the hair is stiff, but it looks like bangs.
Yeah, it's pointed. Like the pointed bangs, like looking like the Yu-Gi-Oh type of things and stuff like that.
Makeup on point. Her outfit was good.
It was solid. It was a solid drag queen.
It was a good look.
Runway look. But it wasn't anything amazing or spectacular to write home about or anything.
No, I mean, honestly, if I went to a drag show, because we always compare drag shows, I wouldn't give her too much unless she was killing the lip sync.
Yeah, because I mean the outfit wasn't anything to it was cute. It was a cute drag outfit, but it
was a cute outfit. Like if you're going to a club and you wanted to make a statement. Right. Now, going to the club in that outfit just to make a statement, absolutely. Doing drag in it, not so much for me. But It was black. It like this leather thing. She had a lot of fringe going on. She had her fishnet stockings. She looked cute. She had the shoulder pads. It was a cute look. Again, if we're going, I would go to the club with Alyssa in that outfit.
High angle shoulders.
Yes, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, we stepping out tonight. I will not be. She wouldn't be one of those girls that I threw a bunch of money at tipping at a drag show, unless of course her lip sync was just eaten like that. That would be the exclusion. Or Anyway, after her we had Cynthia Lee Fontaine. Miss Cuckoo.
Mis amores.
We love Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Yes, we are cuckoo for the cuckoo.
If you don't know who she is, find out and you will fall in love with her too. She is Miss Congeniality from season 9.
Yes.
She was on season 8 and season 9. And she's a comedian. She's a drag queen in my opinion. She's just great. I love her. Her entrance look, however, was a no.
No.
It was a chop. I'm sorry.
Boot.
So there were things up. So she did the Heart Queen,
Queen of Hearts type of play on that.
She had a deck of cards in her hand or hand of cards as a fan. Ideally, yeah. Execution, absolutely not.
Yeah, no.
I didn't like the wig.
Yeah.
I didn't like the way the outfit fit. It was too much going on.
Yes.
This was not a good interest look for Cynthia Lee Fontaine.
Being the true drag journalist that we are, it came out through Roscoe's and some feedback from Acid and Diabetes because they were on the last Roscoe view party for this episode, and came out that Cynthia Lee Fontaine's outfit was falling apart. And stuff.
Yeah.
So the wig was sliding and they had to bring people in to help her be presentable for her runway. So that was a thing.
We've heard a lot of behind the scenes stuff. We know a lot of stuff that happens on production. Sometimes these girls are for hours, because when they're taping, they tape for hours, and once they're in drag for hours. My first thought was like, this is your entrance look. Why is it falling apart? But then you think about anything can happen.
Yes.
And to be sitting in drag for hours, especially if, God forbid, hypothetically, your look wasn't as 100% put together as it should have been in the first place, and now you got to sit in the hours. There are things that's going to make it fall apart.
Yep.
Is that a reason, or does that give you a pass? No. It does not give you a pass. It just says, we understand things happen.
But no.
I wasn't excited about her look.
No. Excited about her, but not her look.
Absolutely.
Next, we had
Diabetes, who comes out in pink, black and white, punk rock type look. Is very Diabetes. The multi-tone hair, the contacts. I didn't necessarily like Diabetes in her season.
No one did.
She annoyed the hell out of me. I think that she was Diabetes.
Diabetes. Yes, she was her
Diabetes. During season 14. But she's still a good drag queen. Regardless of how petty or much you like or dislike Diabetes, she is a good drag queen.
I mean, she was swinging. Swinging. Like, she made it to the finale with Lady Camden and Willow Pill and stuff. And, like, I forgot who the other fourth one was in that season.
It wasn't Nigeria, was it?
I think it was Nigeria.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, so...
It was a wonderful season. And then that was a wonderful fight. And Diabetes, who was originally eliminated, came back.
First episode was eliminated because they did a dual premiere, and then one person got eliminated from each premiere that year. So, but they ended up coming back and then competing, and then the person that really got eliminated, the third episode, was really eliminated. So, and then she made it from getting booted out first to the finals, and she turned it around.
I don't know, for some reason when I think of Diabetes with that elimination thing, before I realized that it wasn't real, even though this happened before season 15, it gave me the same emotion I had about Irene. I didn't know that I would like the queen as a person, but I knew that I would like the drag.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's what she's given us throughout her season. And now she's back on All Stars 10.
Yeah.
And I think she's going to do her big one.
Yeah, I do as well. And then last we had
all the way from season 7, all the way from All Stars 2, and all the way from All Stars 6, we have the glamour toad themselves, Ginger Minj.
Yes.
Hold on, wait. I feel like we can just go on ahead and give her due.
Yes.
For Ginger Minj.
Yes.
Let's give it up for Ginger Minj because she deserves it.
Yes. Like I am so. A lot of people are like, "Oh, Ginger came back too many times." No, I can't get enough Ginger Minj.
I mean, I can get enough.
Yeah, she's like Taco Bell. It takes a while, to get tired of Taco Bell because they got so much different stuff that you can eat off of their menu, and it's all good, especially after some medication. So,
yeah, I don't know about that one. I feel like I would love a night of a ginger one-person show. I would love that. I want you to sing. I want you to act, do some lip sync, and obviously do some comedy.
You would love a night of Taco Bell.
I wouldn't like a night of Taco Bell. I don't think that's comparable because I know I want a full plate of ginger. I would barely get a burrito from
Chalupa,
my stomach.
The cheesy gordita
I'm
crunch.
good. I'm good.
Nachos,
no,
grande.
No, senora, not home. Anyway, Ginger Minj though, yeah, give me a full serving. I'm coming back for seconds, but after the night is over with, I'm not going to go
Chipotle.
No. Gosh, Ginger's good though. Like, first off, her entrance look I enjoyed. She did the big red hair. She came out with this red.
It was very Ginger
alligator.
Very
suit.
Southern businesswoman, first lady of the church of the Southern Baptist Church.
Yes, Southern Baptist Church, who also works on the school board committee and is also working in the at City Hall as the receptionist. That was Ginger Minj's look, and we loved it. I have high hopes for Ginger Minj in this bracket.
Oh, that's everybody.
I think that it's a little bit unfair to the other competitors because, like, Ginger Minj is not to be played with.
No, and we know that Ru loves Ginge, but you can't help but love Ginge because Ginge always brings it. The Minj always comes to play and plays to win every time. Like All Stars 2, I think was a fluke. Like, and the way that it was set up, it was kind of, as soon as a strong queen or a strong pairing of queens gets in the bottom, because that was what All Stars 2 was. They were paired up and got eliminated by pairs. And it was like,
that was stupid.
It was like, it was like, and Ginger went out, was an early out that season. Ginger Minj, early out. Like, you don't, like, that doesn't even sound right. Like, there are a lot of things that don't sound right, but are reality. President Trump, but it is what it is. Ginger was the first out, but she came back All Stars 6 and made it to finale and stuff like that, which got bull crap critiques. Bull crap. Just pure bull crap.
The narrative.
How does somebody be too rehearsed or too polished and stuff like that?
I hate when they create these narratives with their critiques.
Yeah, let me give you a not so polished diamond and see how you like it.
So this scares me now, just thinking about the 3 different brackets, the queens that have moved on from the first 2 brackets. So we got Irene, Aja, and Bosco. Then we got Mistress, Georges, and Lydia Butthole Collins. These are the 6 queens that we know for sure are going to the semifinals. I can say out of those, all right, if it was the first bracket, I know everybody wants Bosco to win. I want Irene to win. If I had to pick from that bracket. from the second bracket, if I had to pick from Georgia's Mistress and Lydia, I honestly want Lydia to win. And now we have 6 new queens. And I'm afraid that the talent in this bracket might steal the show. Because the other queens are amazing. I feel like I don't think I can.
I feel like somebody from this bracket is probably going to deserve the wild card, but probably won't get in off of the wild card unless production has the wild card, and then they rig it to where they get who they feel should be in the because what's going to happen is the 9 queens are going to go through the whole lip sync Lollapalooza, which means we'll have a battle, and then like another 3-way battle because it's an odd number.
That's why the other person's coming back, right?
But the other person gets a bye to go against the person who wins all of those lip sync Lollapaloozas in the final lip sync SmackDown for the crown. The wild card queen comes in to win that. So you could not win a challenge.
I don't like
and
it
there
no more.
is so there is a scenario that Nicole Page Brooks.
No, there isn't.
Could win.
There's no
could
universe
get picked by a judge and then win the lottery because the judges pick and then they get entered in like little
That's
ball.
exactly my point.
And then come and win the lip sync SmackDown for the crown.
No way. I mean, maybe in this fictitious universe that you just created, does that ever happen? But that will never happen in this one. I promise you.
Oh gosh.
1, the judges are not going to select her. 2, if they did, she's not winning a lip sync. Look who she already has to go against.
So each regular judge. So that's Michelle, Law, Carson, T.S.,
Ross.
And Ross.
Yes. Those are the regulars.
And Rue.
Well, Rue don't count in that, even though she does, but she don't. It's their vote.
Right. But she might say, no, I want to throw in a queen. So hey.
No, no. Are we making predictions yet about who we think they might vote back in?
Well, it's they get picked and then they get put in a hopper, and then one person gets plucked at random.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So random.
All right. So then we're not going to make any predictions on that. Then it's pointless. All right.
Yeah. So on to the challenge. So there was no mini challenge. They got to explain the rules, just like all the other first episodes of the other brackets went. And they got to the workroom because, let's explain.
It was actually on the runway
where they got the maxi challenge.
It was called Wicked Good.
Yes.
Inspired by Wicked for Good, which is the part 2 of Wicked with Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, which I love the movie. I actually saw Idina Menzel perform it live on Broadway. Like, I enjoyed So you asked me earlier, am I a fan of musicals? And yeah, I am, but I think I'm more a fan of that whole mythos of Wizard of Oz. The Wizard of Oz, Wicked, The Wiz. That's why last season's musical pissed me off, because I'm a huge fan of The Wizard of Oz, Frank Baum.
And you never saw a chorus line either. Like I think you saw a chorus line, you would be like, oh, okay, but I wish they did more of those other shows than a chorus.
I just feel like you have 3 of the greatest pieces of all time. And your approach to it was a chorus line. These were musicals. Why would you not fuse those 3 into one musical? Take me on this journey to the Wizard. You could have done that in a 15-minute window.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like y'all just got so... I feel like that was a lazy way of doing it. Could you imagine if one of the queens had to be the Wizard? If someone... Well, we had the Flying Monkeys. But, like... There's just so much. Could you imagine somebody actually was Miss One from The Wiz? But then Galinda comes in, and then we have the Wicked Witch, and then we have Awful. Like, there's so much you could have done with that. So this episode, we have Wicked for Good, where the queens have to, well, as Ru put it, Galinda and Alphaba worked in tandem. So therefore, in this challenge, the queens will pair up and give us a good witch and a wicked witch. They have to design looks that are inspired by the story of Wicked. They're not looking for imitations of those queens, of those witches. And they have to have an enchanting story around their looks and their
Yes.
pairing.
Yes.
So they go into the workroom. Where you want to take over from here?
Yeah, well, basically sum up everything that he said. Rue said pair up with the queen that is your best frenemy to bring an original good witch and bad witch concept to the runway. They had to design their looks and come up with a backstory also that they had to, provide voiceover for. So then they went to the workroom and Rue left it up to them to pick the pairs as well as pick who's going to be the good witch and who's going to be the bad witch. There was a little bit of drama as far as the pair picking, mainly between Alyssa and Daya, because Alyssa wanted to work with Daya,
really,
but I don't think that it was real. Honestly, I think it was mainly a ploy for
right, because even the callback, because Rue said pair with who you think is your best frenemy, and like the way Alyssa justified why she wanted it to be Daya Betty was weird to me, because on a reunion show you called her a bitch. And
it was actually throughout throughout the 2 episodes that Alyssa Hunter was on because she was because she wasn't eliminated on the first 2 episodes. She was actually the first
queen eliminated.
Yeah. So
in other words, I just don't feel like they're.
So her and Daya kind of went.
Interactions.
Or no, she was the second queen after the first queen that got eliminated that season. So her and Daya pretty much had 3 episodes together where she was always calling her bitch and just being all mean and stuff like that, and pointing out how Daya was just mean.
We all call Daya mean. Is she my frenemy because of that? I just feel like it was a weak ploy.
Yeah, but I guess now, with their whole, we made up and stuff like that, so I guess we can, partner up, and yeah.
Initially, you did see Cynthia Lee Fontaine and Alyssa Hunter having conversations. They were Puerto Rican sisters or auntie, TT and Nisi, or whatever. And I initially thought that they would have thought, hey, let's pair up. But I think, was it Cynthia's strategy initially to try to work with Acid Betty instead of Alyssa Hunter?
Yes, because her and Acid are very close. Yes.
Right. When Cynthia was going through several different health issues, Acid Betty was there with her and supported her and things like that. They have a real genuine connection, which is beautiful. But then who else said they? A couple of people wanted to work with Acid Betty.
Yes.
Almost everybody.
Denali also wanted to work with Acid Betty. Ginge wanted to work with either Acid or Daya. And Daya wanted to work with either Acid or Ginge.
Right.
Yeah.
So the ball was completely in Acid Betty's court. She chose to work with Denali, which was cute. It's a cute matchup. So since Acid Betty is off the table, Ginger Minge and Daya Betty sees the opportunity to work together, which they kind of wanted to do anyway. So it worked out for them. And as I mentioned earlier, Cynthia Lee Fontaine and Alyssa Hunter are paired together.
Yes.
Now they have to come up with stories and looks. I'm not going to go too deep into them coming up with this in the workroom because
it's something. Go watch it. Paramount.
Rue comes in. She talks to the pairs. The one that stands out most to me in that, honestly, was just Cynthia, with her talking about her health. I wasn't really in it with the other queens.
As far as the backstory goes?
Yes.
Really?
Backstories. Because they all have one. It stands out to me, her health. That just stands out to me for that reason.
So, basically, with pair 1, all right, let's go through the pair.
Okay.
So, pair 1. Came out on the runway. It was Daya Betty and Ginger Midge. and their whole thing was wind and water. Okay.
Yes.
And Ginger Minge was the goddess of the water, or the witch of the water and stuff like that.
No,
the
she
witch
was
of the sea.
wind. Yeah, she was the water, and Diabetes was the water.
And Diabetes was the witch of the wind. And like, you know, and they had very funny little lines and blurps in there. Ginger was like, I like to be surrounded by semen, and stuff, and like, you know, one of her greatest powers is like retaining water and stuff, and so there
very
was some
funny.
And like condensation and stuff, and like things that, and like it was funny. There was some funny things in there. Dia also had some funny things in there because Ginge wrote the script, and so the way that those two worked together was that Dia pretty much sewed everything, and put everything together as far as their looks go, and then, you know, Ginge wrote the script because Ginge is the funny one, and so
Yes.
it was very funny. It was very entertaining. I did like the way that they played off of people. There was this at the end. Diabetes said wave to the people, and Ginge went like this, like, you know, like,
very cute,
like the water wave and stuff, and I was like, oh, that is cute. And
I
stuff.
like that there were moments of them. Well, no, they didn't really do much of a lip sync to it as much as like they pantomime.
Yeah, at the end they were, especially when they were talking about how Mother Nature is a bitch. Yeah.
But like they brought the physical comedy to the script, to the voiceover, with their looks and their bodies, and interaction with each other was definitely entertaining to watch, even though they weren't lip syncing. And it can get real awkward when you're just like moving. Trust me, I mind moving to lyrics or to words,
and you got to do
right, and you're expressing it with your body, your face, as if you're talking without talking, and making it still interesting and not redundant or boring. Kudos to y'all for that. Next, we had Cynthia Lee Fontaine and Alyssa Hunter.
Yes.
And they were fire and ice.
Yes, the brujas.
I was going to write down their names and stuff, and I think I got Cynthia's, but then Alyssa said something and I could not catch it. I rewinded over and over, and I still could not get what she said. Partial because I don't speak Spanish.
Yes, if you speak Spanish, please give us the English version down in the comments.
Because I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Yes. And if you haven't already, make sure you like, share, subscribe. All right, as well as give us the English version of what Alyssa Hunter said in the comments.
So they look nice.
Alyssa Hunter looked nice.
Cynthia Lee, I can't even say her name. Cynthia Lee Fontaine looked like an auntie.
Yes, and
that was what she was going for.
And you know, I do agree. Like, me personally, I understand the way that, and this was pointed out by Thorgy Thor on the pit stop, because Thorgy Thor was on the pit stop with Monet this week, and she kind of pointed out how, like, you know, she hates how the dresses that will stop like right at the ankle line and not continue down and stuff like that and touch the floor. And I get it. It is definitely pleasing to the eye. To me, there are some situations where it looks, especially if you have like a shoe that is like a centerpiece and stuff, to where you want the shoe to be seen. I get those moments where it's like kind of looks chopped and stuff like that, but you have to make it look a certain kind of way, like have like some sort of asymmetricalness or something like that, or like some sort of fringe or something, you know, to kind of make it look purposeful but also kind of complete, instead of just just that strong hem. But I get it, but then I don't get it, but then I get it. In the case of this, it would have looked better had she continued it down to the floor.
There were also a lot of elements of cardboard in both of their looks.
Yeah, and then your water, but you have flowers.
Yeah, you know,
it didn't make sense. It was pretty, but it didn't make sense. And but Alyssa Hunter,
I was just about to say, but Alyssa
made
Hunter
sense. And it looked pretty, and it made sense.
Yeah, it looked good. She looked amazing, like sexy.
The only thing that didn't make sense was the money gun. Lady, let it be dead. Let it be dead. Okay.
Yeah, I see that. I like, so the reason she brought it out because she wanted to have her moment.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it was not worth having.
No.
It was not worth having at all. So I'm sorry that you wasted time. It didn't add anything to your look.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't add anything to your story.
Mm-mm.
It was unnecessary completely. So then we'll move on to Acid Betty and Denali, and they were Pyra and Glacia.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, fire and ice. Again,
Well,
wait.
it was fire and water, and then water and wind, and now fire and ice.
Their story was written by Acid Betty.
Yes, and most of the sewing was also done
look
by
was
Acid
done by
Betty.
Acid Betty. But now Denali looked nice.
Yes, she looked absolutely amazing.
She did her voiceover, but that was about it.
And then she helped influence the concept.
It was cute. They were sisters.
They
made coffee together.
Yeah, they make the best iced coffee. Because she likes heating up the beans, and she likes putting the ice in the coffee. So like it was cute. They looked, to me, they looked amazing. I liked their looks.
Great. Yes, their look was never. Well, honestly, I can't complain about their performance either.
No,
their look and their performance was spot on.
Yeah, I thought that they were easily that they could have been the top, or another team. That they could have been the top, or Ginge and Diabetti could have been the top. That's how I felt at the end of seeing their thing. I was like, those two could definitely. These two teams could definitely be in the top, and I'm okay with it.
Yes and no. If I'm being critical about it,
and I didn't like their critiques of Acid Betty's the looks and everything and things. I thought that they were just really grasping at straws and trying
and that's what they do.
Really justify, so I totally disagree with them. I thought that, both of their looks were nice and well put together given the circumstances and everything. So yeah.
I would say that I would clearly give the win to Ginger and Diet.
I agree with that.
Because their looks were great. Their performance, like, there wasn't a boring moment. There wasn't a moment that it looked like they were hesitating or stalling or trying to figure out what to do, or just didn't do anything. Like, it didn't feel, and it felt like they polished it. And that's what I loved about it. It was a full performance with Diabetti and Ginger Minj. Acid Betty and Denali were great. There were moments where I felt like, okay, who's going to do something next? There was some stutter. Right. There was the story was good.
Yeah.
I just feel like Ginger Minj and Diabetti entertained from the moment their set started to the moment it ended, which put them, in my opinion, above the rest of the competition.
Right. Look wise, just looks, me.
Oh, if it's just looks, no. Acid and Denali.
Acid and Denali, yes, were the top looks.
Yes.
Then I would say that it has to be individual for me after that. I would then put Diabetti's look next as my next favorite look. And then I will put Alyssa Hunter's look as my next favorite look after
That's
that.
Fair.
Everybody else was okay. It's just that those four stood out as far as the overall runway look to me as being like the best of the week.
The look that they did in their performance was their runway look. Now, lip syncing was something different, but that was their runway look. So, I see that's the problem, because when you take that into consideration, you got to change some things. Alyssa Hunter looked amazing. Her performance wasn't strong enough to make you a top 3. Sorry. Diabetti.
Now, performance-wise, Diabetti and Ginge had the best performance.
But Ginge didn't
then
have
I would
the best
say
look.
it was Acid and Dia after them, or Acid and Denali after them. Yeah.
So honestly, I would put,
and the challenge is actually the performance.
I would actually put Diabetti at the top in this situation right now because she was part of the best performance, and she had one of the best looks.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's how we would have to like square that one away.
Right.
So, extra special guest judges are Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, who they did stop in the workroom while the girls were putting their makeup on and getting looks together.
All the gay men cried.
They cried. We cried. No, they. No. Ginger Minj specifically, as she spoke about how like being accepted when you're just different. And I think don't even have to be a gay person to understand what it feels like to be accepted if you're different. But for Ginger Minj, call her trans. She ain't come out yet. No, I'm playing. A drag queen who has dealt with weight issues, or a little gay boy who's dealt with weight issues and has been ostracized, this theater kid, to be able to embrace or be in a community that embraces all of your weirdness and all of your quirks. It is touching. We've all been there. I don't know why trying to relate to Ginger Minj in this movie just made me think about Straw. Conversation for a whole nother conversation. But it brought Ginge to tears, and Ariana said, "Can we just take a hug break?" And she and Cynthia Erivo wrapped their arms around the glamour toad. It was so beautiful.
Yeah,
I wanted to a little bit, and I think because of that, Ginger said, "You know what? I have to win this. I have something I need to prove to these queens."
Yes, and and sure enough, RuPaul announced the winners of this week's challenge, and the top two, because they were judging in pairs.
Yeah.
The top two All-Stars of the week, Diabetti and Ginger Minj. So they each get 2 points to start off the purple bracket number 3. And now they get to lip sync for their legacy and 1 extra point and a $10,000.
Cashed it.
Yes.
And they get to lip sync to Broadway's version of
the original production of Defying Gravity with Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. Did you also see Kristen Chenoweth? Was she?
Yes.
Oh, you saw? He saw the real deal. The real deal Wicked.
It was beautiful.
Look at you.
Yes.
Idina Menzel
had a good time.
Oh.
But what was I about to say? Ginger Minj and Diabetti are lip syncing to Defying Gravity. Before Wicked the movie came out, Idina Menzel and say her name because I always mess it up.
Kristen Chenoweth.
They have been touring with this song. They have been killing it. Iconic gay song.
And Wicked
empowering song.
Wicked is probably a 20-year-old production. Like it debuted like on Broadway like 20 years ago, somewhere like that. Yeah. Yes. Like and to think Idina Menzel, just to put this in perspective, that was like 20 years ago. And Idina Menzel looks the way that she looks.
Right.
About 25 years prior to the whole Wicked and stuff like that, she was also in the original production of Rent.
And I did know that, even though I didn't see it.
And most of the cast in the movie, except for Angel and except for what's her name? Rosario Dawson, Mimi, and what was her name? The girlfriend. The girlfriend. Maureen's girlfriend. I forgot her name. Joanne. I think Joanne or something like that. Joanne or something like that. But like it was something like that. But yeah, those two were the only new people. But everyone else in that movie was in the original cast, including Jesse Owens. A lot of people knew that.
So Ginger Minj and Diabetti are lip syncing to this song, and
but Idina Menzel's a vampire. I don't care.
I am getting my gay life.
Yes.
Specifically from Ginger Minj. Diabetti is doing a great job.
Yes, she is.
Down to embodying what the song was giving on the stage play, what the song gives in the movie, and what the song means to Ginger Minge and our community.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't my top 10, maybe top 10, but it wasn't my top 3 drag performances, lip sync performances, but it's up there.
Even though Ginger has one of the best and highest lip sync win percentages, like in Drag Race history, like
deservingly so with that title. But like this was one of my favorites. It moved Ariana Grande to tears.
Where the hell my phone is epic. Like her.
Okay, that might be in the top 3. That one there,
like that was.
That
amazing.
Was yes.
Yeah.
But no. You know, when the queen does so well that you kind of forget that there's another queen on the stage with her, you gotta give it to her.
Yeah.
And I think RuPaul saw it the same way we see it.
Yeah.
Because RuPaul gave the win to Ginger Minge.
Ginger Minge. So right now, the race stands as Ginger Minge is your leader with 3 points. And she got the $10,000 tip.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Diabetes sitting at number 2 with 2 points. And we have a tie with 0 for the other 4 queens.
For now.
Of Alyssa Hunter, Cynthia Lee Fontaine, Denali, and Acid Betty. All right. So I definitely think that this is one of this bracket here offers us the most potential to have different winners every single week.
Yes.
To where the MVQ points are going to be the deciding difference.
I agree.
Like the MVQ points are going to make or break the top 3 here in this bracket, because I definitely think that there could be moments, and especially with next week, it's like the country challenge, the country music challenge, and stuff like that. So you never know. Cynthia Lee Fontaine and Alyssa Hunter may pull it out because Ru might get a kick out of them being Latinos, doing Mexican. Country. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they may Mexican it up.
Texans.
So it's like, even though they're Puerto Ricans, they're not like,
I know, but what I'm saying is like the whole country part of it all.
But yeah, like they're like, that's what I'm saying. Rue might, buy into that and be like, oh, I love y'all. And then Denali and Acid Betty may turn around and be in the top 2 this week.
Yeah, because like we're not expecting to be paired up, but like you expect them to pull through.
But these might be the pairings. It might be Cynthia Lee Fontaine and Acid Betty. It might be Denali and Alyssa Hunter.
It could be any combination of these girls.
Like anybody has a shot. Like anybody has the chops. More so than other brackets where it was like, oh, some people are just here. I feel like this bracket has even the filler is good. You know what I mean? Because Cynthia Lee Fontaine, you could say Cynthia Lee and Alyssa Hunter are filler queens.
I wouldn't say Cynthia Lee Fontaine, although her looks are pulling filler.
Yeah.
But her caliber is way more than filler queen. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed right now.
In Cynthia, yeah.
Yes, I'm a little disappointed because you're not that girl. So Cynthia, pull it together. You're not that girl.
Oh yeah.
You're that girl, but you're not this girl that you're.
Mis amores, cuckoo.
So please, Cynthia, pull it out because we know you got it in you.
Yes.
Before we sign off though, there's other things that's been going on in the drag world that I think is worth talking about. No?
Yeah, we got a couple minutes.
Specifically, something that we were talking about, was it last week? It was last week about the traders. And it wasn't who we were assuming.
Right.
It isn't someone that I would have expected. But I am so happy to see. This person is an all-star winner. She shares the title. This person is an opera singer.
No, she shares the title. We don't know who that is.
This person is a comic, has done a tour or 2 or 3 or 4. Maybe I don't even know how many times they've gone out doing comedy. The girl hails from New York City, and she is habitual liar.
And is classically trained opera person.
Yes. And I am here for this.
Mm-hmm.
Monet Exchange.
Yes, exchange rate, baby. Yeah.
Listen, that is the trader that I didn't know that I needed.
I think Monet is gonna be a faithful. I definitely think Monet is gonna be a faithful. Like, I don't think
she might end up being a faithful, but I think she would do better as a trader.
Nope. I don't think Monet has it in her to keep the guys straight. Like she even said it, like when Bob on Sibling Rivalry, she was like, yeah, no, I couldn't be a trader because, like, how am I gonna keep those? I can't keep any. I can't keep lying to people.
That's all she does. Like, Monet lies for sport. Like, that's her thing. Like, you know how Mistress is messy?
Mm-hmm.
Monet lies.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Mistress would make a good trader because she can make her lies into mess for other people and everything else like that, and then kind of throw the shade off
Monet
of her.
Can do that?
We'll see.
I think
we'll
that,
see, but I don't think she's going to be a trader.
I think she's a playful liar. So she would tell things, she would make, and she will have you believing them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that and then Portia Williams is on here.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a feeling those two are going to be like Judy's. Like, Portia's obviously going to click with the housewives. But I don't know. I think Monet, it might be initiated by Monet, but I think they're going to be Judy's. And I don't know. Like, if Monet is faithful, I think that she would go far. I hope that she would go far. I mean, I thought Bob would go far. Bob could have as a trader, but it wasn't Bob's fault.
It wasn't Bob's fault. No, it was Rob's fault. So yeah, but because Bob was not on anybody's radar as a trader.
Fault.
But yeah,
Danielle's dumbass, because she actually voted to eliminate Bob.
She had to, and Bob understood that she had to.
So let's see what Monet has.
Because then she would have been the next. She would have been the next trader to go. Like, that would have put a target on her back.
I mean, so we know the history of last season's traders. The people that eliminated or managed traders were traders.
Yeah,
like it was a trader's game, literally, because like the faithfuls were like so clueless, and the traders are like picking each other off.
Yeah,
like,
and they got lucky. They got lucky that the traders had to pick each other off, because that was the thing that Rob started, and it kind of snowballed. Yes. But I do think that Monet is going to be do okay. I'm definitely excited to see her on Traders. I do think that this season they should definitely, because the past few seasons of Traders, they have picked the traders that they have picked have been kind of expected people that you could see being in the trader role and stuff like that, especially from their past in other TV shows and stuff like that. I think that this year it would behoove them to pick people where the trader role is not in line with their character, and would put them out of their comfort zone, because that would give so much good TV.
So it's interesting that you say that, because I'm just thinking about Mistress. Like, bringing Mistress on the traders is so obvious,
right?
So yeah, make her.
But if you bring her on a trader, she has to be a trader. She has to be a trader. Like, no, she has to be. She has to be.
It's
and then I would exactly, but
like, I don't think that she has it in her to convince people that she's not a trader.
It was, see, and the thing about Mistress is that, do you go on Traders to be banished first, regardless?
No.
Like
if I it's kind of like with Boston Rob when he had the option to come in and nobody wanted to like bring him in. It's like, why would I? It makes no sense for me to bring you in this house because we know what you're capable of. No. If Mistress came on, it's like, no, get her out now. like that's my first thought. It's like, oh no, she can't be in this competition with us. She has to go.
Yeah, because she would be way too good of a traitor, like and everything. Even if she's a faithful, she got to go because
Right.
she still might be a traitor. Like,
And I want to move on to one other thing before we wrap it up. I am a huge Marvel fan. I have been for over 20 some odd years, longer than that, honestly, since like a kid. Honestly, I
40 something years.
Say what?
40 something years.
No, because I would say like
nearly 5 decades. You've been a Marvel fan. It's okay.
God bless you. Good night. Wow. Not that long. But no. So real quick, honorable mention. The new Ironheart series is coming out in about, it comes out on the 20th or the 24th. The 24th, I believe it is. The 24th next week. And featuring one of our drag race alums and winner of the All Stars. Which season of All Stars did she win? You remember?
Was it 6?
She wasn't on 6, so maybe 5.
4?
Must have been one of them seasons she won in, right? We love her. Miss Shea Coulee is playing the character named Slug.
Shea Coulee.
I am super excited to see Shea Coulee in Marvel breaking boundaries because she will be the first drag queen in a Marvel series.
Yes.
First drag queen.
Portraying a drag queen mutant. Yes.
A drag queen from Drag Race, the first in any Marvel anything.
And this character was actually based off of Shea Coulee.
And it's not a one-time role.
Right. So yes, she is, and it was brought into Marvel canon. You know, this character was in Marvel canon before this series and stuff like that, and it was inspired by Shea Coulee. So this is pretty cool that you get to play the comic book character that you, for one thing, inspired a comic book character,
right?
And then you get to play said character in a series and stuff like that. It's very, very cool. I am very much jealous of Shea Coulee, but also very happy for you.
I am so happy for you, Shea Coulee. Can't wait to see the series, which again, it drops on Disney Plus. It's not a plug, but I love Marvel. On the 24th. They're dropping 3 episodes, and I'm going to eat this up because I also love Dominique Thorne.
She's cute,
and Anthony Ramos. Oh my gosh, he's gorgeous.
Oh, yes.
So great casting. Ryan Coogler, who is producing this series, by the way. So it's just winning all over on this one. Eat. All right. So make sure you guys tune in this coming Sunday for our next live episode, where we'll be discussing episode 8, bracket 3, second episode. All those numbers. That's the one thing I don't like about this, because it's giving us a whole bunch of math. I don't like it.
Well, the Queens is doing math too, so we're not the only ones doing math.
Right.
But yeah, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Let us know who your top 3 queens are. Let us know who you think is gonna come out of this bracket. Let us know who you thought had the best runway, the best entrance look. Share your opinions with us, and we'll be down in the comments looking for those and everything throughout the week. But make sure that you are back here Sunday live to chill with us, and we're getting through everything together, folks. And
we are in this together.
Hey, it's still Pride Month, so go out there and enjoy yourselves safely and responsibly, and yes, be as glittery as you like and everything. And it
is also Men's Mental Health Month.
Yes, so go talk to a doctor. All right, everybody,
everybody,
especially you Black ones.
Yes. Stop ignoring your mental health.
Yes, go talk to a shrink. It's okay.
Okay.
Very healthy. All right.
Let's do this.
And thank y'all for coming. God bless you. Good night.
It's a 2 button.